Whether you're brand new to Instagram ads or a seasoned advertising veteran, you're going to want to pay careful attention to this episode, because in it I'm going to be breaking down 5 newbie Instagram ad mistakes that can absolutely destroy any hopes you have of success with the platform. Let's get to it. Hey there, my name is Erhart, marketing strategist, and welcome to The Marketing Show, where we help you grow your business and generate more leads, customers, and sales. So if you're interested in learning the latest and greatest marketing strategies, tools, tips, tricks, and tactics, well, you may want to consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell. Alright, if you've been following me or this channel for any length of time, then you know just how big a proponent I am of Instagram ads. After all, they're one of the greatest marketing opportunities available to businesses today, and I strongly believe that pretty much everybody should be at least testing them in their business in order to see if they're going to convert for them. But like all things, the quality and the results that you get from your Instagram advertising campaign is largely going to come down to the quality and the information that you feed into the program itself. Basically, if you want good results and more profitable campaigns out of Instagram ads, well then you're going to need to set these campaigns up properly right from the beginning, which is why I'm pretty excited to get to share these 5 newbie mistakes I see time and time again among both novice and pretty seasoned advertisers when it comes to setting up profitable Instagram ad campaigns. So I strongly advise you to take this episode to heart. Make sure to understand the tips, make sure to write them down maybe, and make sure to be implementing them in your campaigns, because ignoring them will virtually guarantee a completely failed Instagram ad campaign. So with all that said, let's get right into the tips. Let's help you avoid these mistakes, and let's save you a whole lot of money in the process. And it all starts with mistake number 1, which is using the Instagram promote button. Now, I totally understand Instagram has made this incredibly easy, and they've really kind of marketed this button to you as that easy button for your ad campaigns. The parallels are pretty much identical between the Facebook boost post button and the Instagram promote button. And essentially all these are is just real quick and easy ways to get a campaign out there without really doing much work behind it. But like all things in marketing and business and in life, well, the more you put in, the more you're going to get out. And there really are no shortcuts when it comes to creating effective online campaigns. The promote button is no exception. Now, there's a number of massive issues with using the promote button, but by far, probably the most important one, at least for me and when I'm looking at different client accounts and when they're using this, is that they're almost using this as that shortcut or as an excuse to not set up a proper marketing campaign right from the beginning and really clarify their objectives and what they're hoping to achieve from this Instagram campaign. You see, when it comes to advertising on Instagram, advertising in general, marketing in general, well, no great campaign was ever created just on a whim or just by hitting a promote button and hoping for the best. That'd be amazing, but it's not the case. Rather, proper campaigns, and by proper, I mean profitable. Well, profitable campaigns are created right from the beginning by clarifying an objective, really spelling out exactly what you're trying to achieve, who the market is that you're trying to reach, what message you're going to use, and really building out a strategic and well-structured campaign right the way through. The promote button, on the other hand, is what I call random acts of marketing. And it's essentially just, oh, that looks like a good post to promote, I guess I'll promote it. Shockingly, or completely unshockingly, these results are always completely abysmal, and they often lead to the business owner or entrepreneur swearing off Instagram ads saying that they don't work because they really didn't get any results from them. So mistake number 1 is using this promote button. Rather, you want to do the alternative and set the campaign up strategically right from the beginning, making sure that it's not a random act of marketing, but is rather a really strategic and well thought out campaign. Otherwise, you're significantly better off just to save your money and wait for the future when you've got time or more resources to do this right. It's just like Grandma used to say, do it right or don't do it at all. Wise words. Alright, moving right along to newbie mistake number 2, which is using Instagram ads to build followers. Now, we saw this exact same scenario play out on Facebook a few years ago, where brands and businesses were dumping just a ton of money into building those Facebook-like campaigns and essentially building up their followers and paying a whole lot of money to do so. Well, if history is any indication of what's going to happen here, it's pretty clear to say that a lot of people are going to spend a whole lot of money building up these followers, and then Instagram is going to slash that reach completely, just like Facebook did, and all of that time and money and energy will be pretty much completely wasted. So the lesson here is that when you're running advertising campaigns, when you're essentially putting money behind your message and trying to get it out in front of more people, you rarely, if ever, and probably never, want to advertise for vanity metrics. These are things like likes or comments or shares or things that make your brand and business look good but don't really contribute to the bottom line. You see, advertising that relies on vanity metrics is what gives advertising a really bad name in the first place, essentially classifying it as an expense rather than an investment. Advertising should absolutely be held to task. It should be accountable, and it should be aimed to provide a valid ROI, or return on investment. When it does this, you know you can spend more and get more in return. It's essentially the same as spending $1 and getting $2 back. I don't know about you, but where I come from, that's a pretty good deal. Vanity metrics, on the other hand, allow you to pay $1 and get some likes in return. I don't know about you, but where I come from, that's a pretty bad deal. Essentially, when it comes to advertising on Instagram, a giant mistake is spending money to look successful rather than spending money to actually be successful. Likes, comments, and shares all make you feel good, but you can't build a business with likes. You're far better off by telling Instagram exactly what you want to achieve. In other words, if you're running an advertising campaign with hopes of generating more leads, or PDF downloads, or viewers to your video series, or whatnot, well, just come out directly and tell them exactly what you want to achieve. And you can optimize for this inside the Ads Manager. Rather than trying to outsmart the algorithm or circumvent it with fancy techniques like building a ton of followers first and then going after them later and all sorts of other tactics, which can work in the more advanced settings, well, if you're just getting started, you're significantly better by just going straight for the kill. If you want a webinar registration, well then ask for a webinar registration. If you want someone to download your lead magnet, then optimize for someone to download your lead magnet. If you're trying to get a sale, then run an ad to get a sale. If you're trying to build likes, well then just don't build likes. The next newbie mistake I see time and time again among most of the ad accounts that I audit is really relying solely on image ads. Yes, image ads still work, and they can work incredibly well, but relying on them as your only form of creative is kind of crazy. This is especially true if you've never tested or leveraged the power of video, whether we're talking about feed or in the stories. Basically, you need to be testing all kinds of different creative. Yes, image ads, but also video ads, and again, in the feed and in the stories. You see, there's a funny thing that happens with a video ad, in that it's essentially a little more engaging. Now, this is going to mean that possibly more people are going to engage with your content initially, but it's also going to keep them engaged with the content for longer, which Instagram is going to reward you with by showing your ad to more people for less money. If you have absolutely no idea how to create video ads for Instagram, no worries here. You can start really simple, just by using your phone or even a simple camera setup. But the reality is that you do want to find some kind of movable images, also known as a video, and get it out there in your advertising. I'll also make sure to link up in the description below a piece of software that I'm using right now inside the agency that allows us to quickly create video ads for both feed and stories without having to be on camera. So if you're camera shy or don't even know where to begin, make sure to check that link out. It'll be a great place to start. There's another important point to talk about when it comes to using video ads, and that's essentially staying in tune with what Instagram wants to see and what they want to promote on the platform. You see, the algorithm is always changing, and it's always updating and evolving and adapting to what kind of features that they want to promote and what's working best with the audiences that they're promoting it to. Well, right now it happens to be video, but this doesn't mean it won't change in the future, which is why you always want to be testing those image ads and those video ads, different placements, different creative, different design, different lengths, all sorts of different factors. But again, I'm getting ahead of myself. We'll cover that in just a second. The point is you want to stay up to date on the algorithm and on the platform itself so that you can give them more of what they want, so they in return will give you more of what you want, which is more reach, more customers, more engagement, and more sales from your Instagram advertising. The next mistake that I see newbie advertisers make when it comes to running Instagram ads is combining feed and story ads, or more accurately, combining the creative across both different versions. Now, it's no secret that the feed and the stories, well, they're both very different in regards to size and dimensions and video length and essentially all the formatting that goes into the creative. This is why it's completely nuts to come up with one creative and then just slap it on all locations and hope for the best, because the reality is it's going to look very different depending on which one it's designed for. On one, it could fit perfectly. Looks like it belongs there, it's enticing and appealing, all the graphics fit, and the text is easy to read. But on the other, things could be just crammed in, look like they don't belong, and really they look like exactly what's happened here, which is you've used the exact same creative and just thrown it across all the different places. And that's a no-no, because not only does it not work, well, it also makes you look kind of like an amateur. And looking like an amateur, no surprise, is kind of bad for business. The other factor is that user behavior is pretty different depending on whether we're talking about scrolling through a feed or looking through stories. So again, you want to make sure that your creative fits the tone and the style and essentially the overall aesthetic of whatever position you're using. Basically, the newbie mistake to avoid here is just using the exact same creative across all your different placements. You want to customize it and you want to make sure it fits and looks like it belongs there. I'll make sure to put a link in the descriptions below that'll show you the exact sizes and specifications for feed and for stories ads, so you never have to worry about it again. The next newbie mistake that I see not only in Instagram ads, but also Facebook ads and YouTube ads and pretty much any other online advertising platform is simply not testing enough. You see, you have an amazing opportunity here to quickly test different audiences, different placements, and different creative in order to find that mythical and magical combination of the perfect ad that's going to give you the best results at the lowest costs. And yet so few people fully leverage this incredible power. They don't create enough creative, they don't test enough placements, they don't do enough audience research and really split test a number of different audiences. Again, at the end of the day, what this leads is to pretty poor performing campaigns and then just blaming the platform and saying, Instagram ads don't work. This is why my rule is that you should always be testing. Always. Test videos, images, captions, fonts, colors, audiences, targeting, feed, stories, landing pages, everything. Test, 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 and test some more. I'm absolutely shocked sometimes at some of the ads that I think are going to absolutely dominate. Well, they fall a bit flat. And then the ones that I'm kind of on the fence about, well, they're the ones that end up crushing it and deliver 5 times, 10 times, even 100 times ROI. So avoid that newbie mistake and always be testing. Alright, the next thing you're going to want to do is check out this video I have linked up right here when it's released next week, which is part of this Instagram marketing series. So make sure to check that out when it's released next week. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time on The Marketing Show. Your ad really only has 2 goals. Number 1, to stop the scroll, and number 2, to get the click. That's pretty much it. First, let's talk about stopping the scroll. See, all